Um, Giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Akakadash, and double honor to the elder apostles, elder bishops, and brothers on down the great millstone. Salutations to the hopefully elect. This is your brother Rai Banyami. I'm here to share another lesson. And title of this lesson is The Fruit of the Spirit. And inspiration of this lesson came when I was listening to the channel Bull Boom Be a Boss. As you see, I'm subscribed to him. He gives excellent news on the economy, things and trends that he sees upcoming that would indicate an uptick in the stock market, the Dow Jones, or a downturn of it, right? Excellent channel, but in this title it says that he put up, it says people are going crazy due to high costs and financial stress. So he had a few videos of I guess other content creators where they were complaining about the cost of living, rents, so on and so forth, the work culture. And he had one particular woman on there that she was mentioning that she was more stressed out, seeking the things of this life, working, pretty much paying power in your own hands, working to try and work out the cost of living, so on and so forth, pretty much taking care of herself. But she said she had a more better mental disposition when she was facing homelessness, but she was more trusting the Lord. She didn't know Yahweh Shai's name, but she mentioned she was more at ease facing homelessness when she was just trusting the Most High while facing homelessness. But I'm going to play a small snippet until Bull Boom Be a Bus. Fair use. I'm just using a small snippet of a video for educational purposes and commentation. So here we go. I believe it's a Eve. So here we go. Lord willing, it be edifying unto the elect, right?
So people stressed out at the job, so much so that sometimes having a job is more stressful than being unemployed, believe it or not. All right, take a listen to this one right here.
About corporate stressed out, being on the verge of homelessness and starvation than I was working for corporate America. Like, I was more stressed out working and being able to afford my life than I am being on the verge of losing everything. That tells you a lot about corporate America.
Think about that. More stressed out, being on the verge of homelessness, probably unemployed, than she was. More stressed out now than she was when she was working because of the stress of the job. Companies are trying to get more out of you. They're trying to drag more work out of fewer people because people quitting, they're laying off people, so then they pass along the workload to the rest of the workers. We've talked about that here many times. Take a listen to the rest of her point here. Corporate America stressed me out, basically.
I appreciated working and I appreciated everything that I was able to afford. And do I wish I was still working? Yes, I do. But the amount of stress that comes with these ungrateful ass companies, like, they want you to work harder. They want you to work longer hours. They want more for less. They want to cut the bonuses. They want to cut everything, but they want you to do more. And then when they start losing employees, and then it's like, oh, you got to take on this project. You got to do this because this person left or this person went on leave for mental health because they're stressed the
Talked about that so many times, people.
hell out.
We're Phoenix Energy.
I think I'll cut it there. So yeah, that's a point, man. She was mentioning how, she was more at ease mentally, right? I think he played more of it because he had her on there for a little bit, but I don't want to play too much because I don't want to get a copyright strike. But yeah, she was mentioning when she was more at ease, trusting the Most High during her homeless situation, right, compared to working for these companies. But the point is, I want to go into the faith a little bit. So she was one thing you have to get, that she looked like she's an Israelite, right? And the Most High, he has given us the word. We only have He known, right? He has given us His laws, commandments, and statutes. So she was more in the spirit and in tune with the spirit when she was facing homelessness, and she was trusting the Most High compared to trusting in these jobs, working hard. Right? You understand? Pretty much putting matters into your own hand. And I want to get into that in the scriptures a little bit. So it would behoove you, if you're an Israelite, it would be more in the spirit and more beneficial to you, right? Having faith in the Lord, man, leaving things that we have no control of, right, upon the throne of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. But I want to read this first. I'm going to try Mark chapter 4 and verse 13. I'm going to read from 13 on down a little bit. I'm going to read it in the NLT. Then Yahushai said to them, he's talking about, right, the word being given to people that hear the word, and he gave a couple of examples, right? He says, then Yahushua said to them, if you can't understand the meaning of this parable, how will you understand all other parables? The farmer plants seed by taking the Most High word to others, right? These are the prophets of Great Millstone, starting with the elder apostle to high elder, bishops, camp leaders, and brothers on down, right? They take it to others. They stand on the highways and the byways and they take it to others. They do these epistles, right? Taking it to the internet streets, right? The unicorn, so that others in the world may hear of and partake of the word, right? So the farmer plant the seed, and the ultimate farmer is Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, which plant the seed in the prophet's man, right? So the farmer plants seed by taking Yahweh's word to others. The seed that fell on the footpath represents those who hear the message only to have Satan come at once and take it away. Those are the scoffers, right? The unbelievers, right? It says the seed on the rocky soil represents those who hear the word and immediately receive it with joy. But since they don't have deep roots, they don't last long. They fall away as soon as they have problems, are persecuted for believing the Most High's word, right? So they didn't have faith, and this is why the build-up of faith now is important, especially with the MOTB looming. If you've been paying attention in the news, that guy that is in the health ministry, RFK, he wants all Americans to have wearable devices within 4 years, pretty much by 2030. All right, 4 to 5 years. You understand? So the build-up of the faith for that is now, right? Same thing with here. They don't last long because the problems and persecution come. So they don't have that build-up in faith. Verse 18, it says, the seed that fell among the thorns represents others who hear the Most High's word, but all too quickly the message is crowded out by the worries of this life, right? The cares of this life, the lure of wealth, and the desire of other things. So no fruit is produced, right? So a lot of believers is being overtaken, right? They have some faith, but the cares of this life take it away. You're working harder, longer hours, so you're praying less, you're reading less, you're fasting less, right? You're listening less to the lessons that the elder apostles and brothers are doing. teach, right? So that faith muscle is not being worked out. You understand? So it produced no fruit, and in fact, it get worse. You understand? So that woman, she was more in tune with the spirit when she relied upon the Lord, when she was facing homelessness, and that's what the Most High want. He want us to, you understand, to have that level of faith in Him. He really don't want you to lose everything, but if you have to, He'll do it if He call you. You know what I'm saying? Verse 20, and it says, "And the seed that fell upon good soil represents those who hear and accept the Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's word and produce harvests of 30, 60, or even 100 times as much as it has been planted." This is the 144,000 men at the sea, right? The apostles, the elders, right, that teach the like right doctrine, the truth, right, at Great Millstone, and they teach it, they continuing on. You understand? And if they continue until the end, and Lord willing, we all continue until the end, right, we will receive a just reward. So you see, verse 20, "And the seed that fell upon good soil represents those who hear and accept the word," right? So the teachers, and the believers as well, right? Yeah. So yeah, man. So her faith, I know what happened about what she was saying. I just going off of what I saw in the video. But what she was saying, she had more peace of mind relying upon the Most High just to see what happened. And that takes faith, because you know you have no strength in your body to change the situation. So now you're relying on a spiritual power to help you in some way, shape, or form. You understand? And without faith, you know, we really can't please, you know, the Most High. I'm gonna grab that in Hebrews chapter 11 verse 6. It says, "But without faith it is impossible to please Him who? The Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. For he that cometh to the Lord must believe that He is, and that He is a rewarder of them that diligently seek Him." I'm going to that word, diligently. Diligently, to seek out, to search out, i.e., investigate, scrutinize, right? Be as the Church of Berea. To seek out for oneself, to beg, right? When you pray, begging the Most High, to crave, to demand back, to require, to seek carefully in the Strong's definition, to seek after, to inquire, right? To carefully, to seek after carefully, right? So when you're looking for the truth on the internet, you have this urge as a new believer. You want to find the truth. You're looking, you're searching, you're finding videos. You watch one video, now you're watching 2 videos a day. Now you're watching 12 videos a day. That is diligently searching the Lord, and then you're trying to change ways. You're mapping out different ways that you have in yourself that would anger the Most High, and you're stripping. You know what I'm saying? All those are diligently seeking the Most High. So we can't please the Most High with faith, man. So when she was in that spirit of facing homelessness, right, the Most High was pleased with her faith. So all people have a zeal, but not according to knowledge, man. They don't know the true names of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Alright. And this is the fight, especially in these last times, these economic times. Way before, the MOTB is presented, we'll be in a time of Jacob's trouble, and we are facing the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble right now. So that pull and tug between the flesh and the spirit is going to be there until the Lord come. And we're all going to be tried and tested, man. None of us would be exempt. This is Galatians, the 5th chapter, and I'm going to read from verse 17. And it says, "For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other," right? They are opposite, right? So that he cannot fulfill the things that he would, right? So the flesh, due to the sin, temptation, and all of that, and carrying out the sin, right? It do allow you to do the things, spiritually, which is believing, praying, patience, waiting, upon the Lord. Because the flesh want to be satisfied right away. No. But with the spirit, there's patience, waiting and stuff involved in it. But if ye are led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Lord. You understand? So, shall not inherit the kingdom of God, right? So you're not going to be delivered, man. Those missiles that are coming to pound this place, you're going to be here if you don't continue in the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Right? But this is the point. This is the title of my lesson. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, and faith. So she had that peace and that faith when she was facing homelessness. And this is part of the 2 ingredients of the fruit of the Spirit. You understand? Now, she's facing more mental fatigue, right? By carnally, trying to keep up. You understand? And it's tiring, man. So, we need rest. You know what I'm saying? Even the flesh could go so far, because you could work and think but so much. Yeah, But the spirit is stronger. The flesh is weaker than the spirit. So we have to trust in something that is stronger, which is the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And I'll end with this scripture here. And this is why it's important to read, to study, and to listen to the apostles, your camp leaders. Listen to their lessons, right? For they are also stewards over your soul that the Most High use. And I'm going to visit Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure." You understand? So this wisdom and this knowledge that you're receiving, all right, and the strength of salvation of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is going to be your treasure. You're going to have that peace of mind when all hell breaks loose, around you. All right, so that was the point, man. That was a little snippet I wanted to shake. When I was listening to his video, it moved me to do a quick lesson, on that portion. So Lord willing, it is not, the portion that I shared is not cut out due to, like the copyright infringement. So yeah, so stay in the spirit, man. We all going through these testings and trials, these hard times, but have faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and stay locked in on that. So that's all I got through the spirit, man. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Until next time, I'll see you. This is your brother Rai Banyamian. Shalom.